Okay, let's talk about different types of form element. Red blood cell, aka erythrocyte. Okay, from now on you should use erythrocyte instead of red blood cell. It is biconcave dish shape. Biconcave because when the cell membrane is in biconcave shape, it maximizes the cell surface area so that it will facilitate the exchange of gases. Meaning that oxygen gas or CO2 gas, they have a more surface area to go into or go out of the cell. It contains hemoglobin. Hemoglobin has 4 units. Each unit contains a globin, which is a protein, and then it has a heme group. One heme group, the heme group contains iron, which can link to oxygen. So globin. So it has 4 units. And then white blood cell leukocyte. It is larger cell with a nucleus. Red blood cells do not have nucleus. In red blood cells, they don't have nucleus. White blood cells, they have nucleus, and they are bigger. And they fight infection. They can do phagocytosis. Remember, phagocytosis is like amoeba. So my physiologists, they said that, oh, it's like hugging it. Yes, it's like hug and kiss. So when white blood cell hug a bacteria, then it will kiss. Kiss meaning that it will swallow the bacteria. Hug and kiss, remember. And then it can have adaptive immunity, including antibody production. Yes, there's a form of white blood cell called lymphocyte. Lymphocyte is the one that produces antibody. So lymphocyte produces antibody. And then you have platelet. Platelets called thrombocyte. Platelet, they are cell fragment with blood clotting. What does it mean, cell fragment? Platelet cells, they come from something called megakaryocyte. Megakaryocyte, when they squeeze through the capillary, part of the cell membrane and cytoplasm will break off from the cell. So the fragment of the cytoplasm and cell membrane, they form platelet. In other words, platelet, they are very, they do not have any organelle. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, red blood cell, because they don't have nucleus, their lifespan of red blood cell is very short. It's only 120 days. They don't have nucleus, so lifespan is only 120 days. Platelet cell is even shorter lifespans because they only have a cell membrane and cytoplasm. That's it. What they do is that they have to form the plug that seal damaged blood vessels. Injured tissue release molecule. We call this cytokines to stimulate the clotting process. This cell signaling molecule we call cytokines in general. Cytokines means cell signaling molecules is basically a molecule secreted by a cell and to tell other cells to do something. In this case, you will tell when there's an injured tissue, then cytokines will be secreted to tell, okay, platelet, come here to seal up the opening, the wound. So what it shows here is that you have a test tube of blood, and then you put this test tube of blood into something called a centrifuge. Centrifuge is basically a high-speed rotor, a high-speed motor that will spin very fast. When it spins very fast, the centripetal force will condense substances that have, if the substance that has a heavier weight, then it will go to the bottom. For substance that has a lighter weight, it will go on top. So in the case of the blood, the substances that has the heaviest weight, they are the red blood cell. And then you have a thin layer of white blood cell and platelet on top. And then the substances that has the lightest weight, they are the plasma that will be floating on top. So in this case, they see that approximately 55% of the blood, they are plasma. Approximately 45% they are formed element, namely white blood cell, platelet, and red blood cell at the bottom. That's how they do the isolation. And white blood cell, they actually have 5 types of white blood cell. We will not talk about the 5 types of white blood cell here, but if you take anatomy and physiology, we will talk about the 5 types of white blood cell. Now we finished talking the connective tissue. Remember, we have 4 types of connective tissue. First type, epithelial cell. Second type, connective tissues. The third type is the muscular tissue. Yes, muscle is considered as connective tissues. Muscle composed of cells called muscle fiber. Remember, this is very important. We said that one muscle cell equal to 1 myocyte is equal to 1 muscle fiber. So muscle cell, myocyte, muscle fiber, they are the same thing, okay? Muscle cell or muscle fiber contain actin and myosin filament. Actin and myosin, they overlap so that when muscle contract, they will go like this. This is what happens when muscle contract. When muscle relax, they have less overlapping like this. So that's what happened in actin and myosin. We have 3 types of muscle. Skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle is the muscle that we talk most of the time. When people go to work out, they you see that their body, what you see is that they are training their skeletal muscle. Smooth muscle, you can find smooth muscle in the visceral, meaning that you can find smooth muscle in your blood vessels and your internal organ or GI tract. Cardiac muscle, you can find cardiac muscle only in the heart. Heart only. Okay, skeletal muscle. In skeletal muscle, the skeletal muscle, they are cylindrical shaped, long, and multinucleated. The reason is that during embryonic stage, the muscles, they fuse, multiple muscles are fused together into one big one. That's why they are multinucleated. They are striated, meaning that if you look at it under the microscope, you will see dark and light band, because striated. They are attached by the tendon. Remember the definition of tendon in the connective tissue section? Tendon connects muscle to bone. That's how we said it. tendon attach muscle to bones, and contraction is voluntary, meaning that it is under our conscious control. It is contraction of the skeletal muscle will move bones. When bones are moved, then it creates movement. Movement at the joint. Movement at the joint. Smooth muscle. The reason we call it smooth muscle because when we look at the smooth muscle under the microscope, they do not have striation. When they do not have striation, they look smooth. That's how I call it smooth muscle. You can find it in blood vessels or visceral, intestines, stomach, or other internal organ. They are spindle shaped instead of cylindrical shape. They have one nucleus instead of multinucleated, one nucleus in each muscle cell, and form an irregular pattern. They are involuntary. This is important. They are involuntary, but they are still under the autonomic nervous system control. That means sympathetic and parasympathetic system. Cardiac muscles, you can find cardiac muscle only in the heart. They have branching, which is different from skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle, they do not have branching. Cardiac muscle, they have branching. They are also striated, but they are single nucleus. So they are like in between skeletal muscle and smooth muscle. They are like skeletal muscle. They are striated, meaning that you can see dark band and light band. But they are similar to smooth muscle because they have a single nucleus. So each cardiac muscle has one nucleus, but they have this special branching connect each other laterally. In the branching, they have this something called intercalated disc. Intercalated disc has the gap junction. Intercalated disc, they have the gap junction here. The gap junction is located in the intercalated disc, so that the electrical impulses in the heart then go from muscle to muscle very fast, so that all the heart muscles, they can contract in one, as a one single unit. And also they are involuntary.